somebody's clicking on this video because they're like, okay, this video is giving me the foundation of how to use AI. Specifically, let's just go ChatGPT.
Everything has changed. We're in the AI revolution right now. The world is forever changed. Integration of working with AI is where we'll get our most, productive and best results. So this is our marketing department, and all these other team members here, they're all AI. This right here is a representation of what the future is going to look like.
I know this is crazy, but would you say before you think about hiring that VA?
Absolutely.
Can you give me the state of the union on ChatGPT-5?
All right, so here's what I love now about the new update with ChatGPT-5. It's that
You and I can both agree that artificial intelligence is the greatest disruptor of our generation. And if you're not leaning into it, you probably feel what I feel. And that's like uncertainty, a little bit of fear. And no matter if you're a small business owner or you work for a business, you can leverage AI to not only make your life easy, make your job easy, but actually accomplish more. And I'm so excited to have with me on the department. Today's department is the AI department. And I have Alicia Lyttle, known as the queen of AI.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So pumped. And I have yet to dive into AI this deep because I feel like everyone you talk to is dabbling.
Correct. Yeah.
But something I like doing right out of the get-go with the podcast is to define something.
Sure.
And what is AI doing right now?
Yeah. So you said it already, like it's the biggest disruption. So it's really disrupting a lot. But for us as entrepreneurs, it is offering us so many opportunities to really build, grow, and scale at just a fraction of the time and price. So it's giving us like more efficiency and more effectiveness and more productivity. So what is AI doing right now? It's changing everything. Everything has changed. We're in the AI revolution right now, and the world is forever changed.
It's crazy. Yeah. And what you say for entrepreneurs,
sure,
and something I'm noticing even with my small team, is it doesn't matter what you do or where you work, you need to start even thinking like a entrepreneur.
You do.
I interviewed Dan Martell a few weeks ago.
I saw, yes.
And he said the future belongs to directors, not doers.
Yes.
People who can direct.
Right.
And that's a different way of thinking.
Right.
Can you expand on that concept that like doesn't matter what level you're at, how can you see is there an identity thing as far as like the way we see ourselves as we use AI?
Yeah, I think as we're using AI more and more, and even the people that are just dabbling into it or think that they should be using it, it needs to be integrated into everything that we do. And the integration of working with AI is where we'll get our most productive and best results. So as somebody who's, let's say, writing copy, they now have to think of themselves not only as a copywriter, but as a copywriter using artificial intelligence to get the best results. And so, Dan mentioned it on that interview as well, where he said that really his team has to be using AI. You have to be using AI. Every team member has to be using AI because to write a press release, let's use that as an example. It would take 3 hours for a press release writer to write a press release for you, a press release writer on your team, 2 to 3 hours. But using AI, 5 minutes. And if they developed a GPT or an AI agent that could do it, now they're saying, all right, I used to be able to write a press release in 3 hours. Now I can write one in 5 minutes. So how many more press releases can I write? Or that time saved, what other high level activities can I do?
That's really good. I mean, my mind goes a million different ways, and I want to make sure that we grow into this. And toward the end, you're going to demonstrate some stuff.
Yes.
And I'm excited because you guys will be able to see. I guess the first thing I want to say is, and then what? Something that took me 3 hours is now taking me 10 minutes.
Right.
Now what do I do with my time?
Right. So you start to think about, well, can I do more of that? Or if it's a business, hey, we did this for clients. It took 3 hours. Now it takes 5 minutes. Can we advertise this service more so that we can grow and scale at record numbers?
That's really good.
So I was working with a publishing company, and the lady in the publishing company that was writing author bios and book descriptions, it took her 35 hours to do, let's say, 20, 35 hours a week to do 20 clients. But we just built some AI systems. We're using a tool called FormWise. And so instead of her sending an email to the client and they're answering, and then she's got to write the book description and author bio, we sent a form to them. And the form has the same questions that was in the email, but on the back end, the AI takes all those questions and writes the bio, writes the book description, so she doesn't have to manually do it. So now those 35 hours went down to 3 to 4 hours. And that's just her sending the emails, reviewing, because there's still a human element, reviewing and sending it on to the next person. So that company was able to open the doors to the waiting list that they had and now advertise that as a service. So they're making more money.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give you a lot of speculative questions because I'm speculating AI, just like the season I'm in. How do you feel about people right now charging prices, a client for what the client believes is a human service, and then going and then just writing an AI ad script and saying, here, shoot these ads.
Right. I think we can be more transparent the time that we're in now, as opposed to maybe 2 years ago, because clients now are desiring agencies and freelancers that are using AI. So we teach a lot of freelancers. We used to teach them just how to start an online business. Now it's how to start an AI-fueled online business.
That's really good.
And then to even advertise to your clients that you're more productive and efficient because you are using AI. Yep. So I would say back in 2023, when we were doing work for clients, the clients were like, no, we don't want to use any AI. But then we would show them, well, here's the result of your video using AI and not using AI, and they'd be like, oh, let's use AI. We're all in. Until it got to the point where clients did not want to work with an agency that's not using AI. Okay. So that's the time that we're stepping into now.
That's really good.
If you ask a client, well, would you like your webpage done next week or would you like it done in the next 4 minutes? They're going to say 4 minutes. And you say, well, I'm using AI. Please use AI and get my website done.
Yeah. I think because I am a business owner, but I also am an artist.
Right.
I'm a content creator.
Right.
And so much of my expertise and my emotions and my gifting, it's like been poured into this thing. And, and it's what's made me, even like industries recognize me for who I am.
Absolutely.
And I feel like AI's in here when it comes to, the things I'm good at.
Right.
And so, I think that's why my skepticism, and I haven't been as fast at adopting it. I've been telling all my team, hey,
you better do it.
92% or you're out. No, but Art, he does our videos and he's been able to use it to make the podcast, shorten his time of editing and stuff. It's been really cool. But yeah, for somebody who like, they use their gift and it really is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So one of the things that you could do is, those days when you're not feeling it, you're like, okay, I need to get this out, but I'm not feeling it. You could create an AI Omar where you go to the AI Omar that you've created. And that could be an interactive experience for you where you're almost talking to yourself or just almost a chatbot where you have downloaded your knowledge base and how you think and how you process things and even say, all right, I have a segment coming up. I need to come up with some questions. And it will say, yes, sir, here's how you ask your questions and frame them. So here's 10 questions for you as if you had written these questions. And you'd read it and you'd be like, that's exactly what I would say. And it would shorten down your time for some of the process. So
as long as it says yes, sir, I'm all in. No, I'm just messing. Okay, could you do like a 5 to 7 minute like crash course? Like somebody's clicking on this video because they're like, okay, this video is giving me the foundation of how to use AI. Specifically, let's just go ChatGPT.
Sure.
Because that's where like it's normalized, and then just give us the synopsis. Like, okay, if you are not using AI,
right. So. On the laptop, or you just want me to tell you right now?
No, just tell me,
Yeah. So, the first thing I always tell people is to identify like what bottlenecks that you have, either in your professional career, so in the office, or as an entrepreneur or as a business owner. So you're like, okay, I'm not writing the sales copy because I don't have a copywriter. So start there and then open up ChatGPT. And you're like, okay, I'm on ChatGPT now. I don't have a copywriter. What do I do? So you go to ChatGPT and you say, I'm going to turn you into my copywriter. So you say, act as a copywriter with 25 years of experience in writing high converting sales copy. I need to write a sales page for my upcoming AI summit. Then the key is the next thing. It's the question. So you say, what information do you need from me or about my summit to do this for me, to write the sales copy? And then it's going to come back and give you 10 questions, answer those questions, and then you're on a roll. So you don't even have to know how to prompt properly.
You're
just
prompting AI to prompt you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as long as you know to ask that question, you don't have to say, what do I need to give it for it to be able to do this? If you don't ask that question, it will try to answer it and write your sales copy for you, but it won't be personalized to you.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a little bit more generic. It might still be great, but the key is, prompt it to prompt you. And then the results that you get, you're like, this is phenomenal. And then you can even step into or have it step into your favorite copywriter style.
Wow.
So, rewrite this in the style of Alex Hormozy, or review this as if you were Myron Golden. And what would you think? How would you grade the copy that was just produced, and give it some justification. So.
Because you say, hey, you've been doing copywriting for 25 years.
Right.
What's the difference if I say, hey, yo, you've been doing copywriting for 45 years?
I've noticed that after 25, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change.
Really
so
good.
25 is like the max.
Yep.
And then it's just stepping into that role. And that's what you really like it to do. It's almost saying, yes, you could go to it and say, write copy, but it's saying, act as a copywriter with this experience. And you can give it as much backstory as you want. And it's like stepping into that role. And that role is where you can really win with it, because now it understands what the assignment is. So she told me this is who I am. So let me go ahead and act as if I'm that person.
Hey, department fam, question for you. Based on you listening to this podcast, you probably are either looking to grow your personal brand this year, build your audience online, and just stop chasing business and start to have business chasing you. If that's you, I want to invite you to the Content to Cash Challenge. This is a 5-day coaching experience, a live coaching experience with myself that's done all on Zoom, and you get access to a private community, and it really is unlike any other experience that I offer. By the end of the challenge, you'll have unreal clarity on what you're supposed to do online, and you'll have the insight on how you can make an extra 6 or even 7 figures. Yes, I said 7 figures in your business this year. And if any of those things sound great to you, I want you to join the next Content to Cash Challenge. Scan the QR code if you're watching on a television, or click the link in the description. Once you go through it, go ahead and upgrade to VIP, because you'll get an extra hour of bonus VIP Q&A with me every single day of the challenge. And so looking forward to seeing you there. Let's get back into the combo. I think when you say the word bottleneck, my mind tells me frustration.
Yes.
And when I think about frustration, it's simply a frustration of what could and could happen and should be happening.
Yes.
And that isn't.
Yes.
And let's just use AI to do that.
Right.
Because I have no shortage of content. I feel like there could be a chat with all of my coach calls, all of my podcasts, all of my content.
Absolutely.
And then from that, do whatever.
Yes. You could create an interactive avatar with all of your knowledge base on it. And now your community could go to AI Omar and talk to you 24/7.
So how do I set that up?
Yeah. So there's a tool called HeyGen. And I love it, heygen.com. And this is where they can use it to clone themselves and to do different things like that. But you go into HeyGen, you click on interactive avatar, and you have to record a 2-minute video of yourself, right? Or you have lots of videos. So you upload your best 2-minute clip. And this is the clip that is going to use to create your interactive avatar. And then there's a button called knowledge base. And this is the key. So you're going to give it as much information on you. It just asks for URLs. Give it as many links to all of the information about you that you want it to know.
Wow.
And then it has this embed button at the top, or a share button. So if you pick the embed button, now you can embed AIU into your membership site. So what does that look like? It looks like you, and you be transparent. Tell everybody, this is my AI. It's trained on my knowledge base, but now your customers can access your knowledge base in the form of your AI avatar talking to them. That's anytime really cool. They go to it for a question. So
is there Do I need to use the video version of that, or
you don't need to use the video version? You can definitely use a chatbot type version. I like the video version because it's cool.
Yeah.
Or you could even create a cartoon avatar of yourself if you don't want to go into the avatar that looks just like you.
That's cool.
People love interacting with the
because I saw Darius Daniels. He did like a sermon series for like 6 months.
Okay.
And all his sermon notes, all his audio files, all his Q&A that he's done in the middle of the week with his church and his staff. And then he gave that resource to his church and was like, hey, if you have any question about anything, you're going to get his voice, but it was just text, but that's a chat bot.
Right.
But then,
I love the voice, the interactive voice that comes back to you instead of just reading text. The text is fantastic to do as well, but in some cases you can do both.
Okay, yeah.
So have the text and have the voice, just because people consume content in different ways.
So good. I have someone in my inner circle here, Aticia. Would you be mad or would you be glad that there was a resource in the group in the portal? And it was like, hey, ask Omar a question here, maybe before you reach out to the team. And if it answers your question, great. If not, or would you, it wouldn't make you feel like you're getting less than. No. She said, as long as I get my question answered.
And it could be 1:00 in the morning that she has a question and she can't ask you the answer to it. But now she can keep going. She's like, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. I can keep going.
Yeah. There's people that are in Europe. I have people that Asia, so
and then for us as the business owner, it helps us cut down on our customer support. So now, we have the same thing, so people can go to my Ask Alicia and ask her any questions about anything that's in the course. And so our customer support has gone to almost zero for the type of questions that are already answered in the program. And it will tell you that's in module 1, section 2, if you want to deep dive into it more.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, can you give me the state of the union on ChatGPT-5?
ChatGPT-5. All right. So here's what I love now about the new update with ChatGPT-5. It's that the way that it reasons is what in ChatGPT-4 or the previous models, we had to pull more reasoning out of it, where ChatGPT-5 can now solve problems at a more human judgment level than ChatGPT-4 did. So with ChatGPT-4, I had to tell it to turn on human judgment mode to solve some problems that, maybe might have been more difficult for AI. But ChatGPT-5, when you ask it questions or to solve problems, it's faster, it's more efficient, and then it can do more things. So as we're using ChatGPT, we're noticing that it's updating at just such a rapid pace.
It's crazy.
At such a rapid pace. And they were giving us these different models to choose from, like 0.3 Pro was good at reasoning, but now they're really encapsulating it all in just the 5 model. So people, I think it's an easier user experience for people, and it's more, it's smoother. And then, a process I used to walk people through to get ChatGPT to really understand your style and tone. It used to be a little bit more of a process. Now I could just go to ChatGPT, give it one sample of my writing style and say, from here on out, copy this writing style. You are now me writing as me. And it's like, boom, I'm turned on and I'm ready to do it.
That's really good. Is there anything that you found people doing that's really not that helpful? And maybe they think.
Right. So I think, let me take the flip side of that first.
Okay.
I think people think that they can just go to ChatGPT, open up a brand new account, and it's going to work for them. And that's not true, because if you go to ChatGPT and say, do this work for me, it will do it, but it won't do it in the style that you might want it done in. The more that you train it, the better. So the more that you use it, the better it is. So
is that holistically, or is that with each tab?
So now ChatGPT has a memory function. And with this memory function, everything that you're telling ChatGPT, it's remembering so that it can produce better content for you, unless you turn off the memory function. And sometimes you want to delete memories because you're like, that's not relevant to something I would always talk about, or you set up a temporary chat in ChatGPT so that it doesn't save it in its memory. But a lot of times when people are using ChatGPT, they think, oh, let me just ask ChatGPT to write an article for me about whatever their article is, but not giving it enough context to write it for them in such a way that that is personalized to them. I think to win with ChatGPT, we have to add as much context as possible so that we win. So in writing an article about overcoming life's obstacles, sure, it can do it. It might write a fantastic article. But if you then say, write this article and integrate my story about overcoming life's obstacles, that personalization is what gets you the best content from ChatGPT. So the more that you tell it and the more that you give it, the better the results that you would be. So now coming back to your question about, what do people think that, they do, but maybe that doesn't really have an impact? I would say that it would probably be when they're using ChatGPT, they're looking at it and they're staring at the blank page. Like you go to ChatGPT and it's a blank page right there. And they're thinking that they need to have all of the information at once to give to ChatGPT. But what I love about ChatGPT as well is if you come to the far right of the ChatGPT where you would type in a prompt, it has a dictate button and we can now just talk to it. So just do a brain dump and tell ChatGPT, like, this is what I want, and talk to it and have that conversation with it. It will dictate everything, or click the advanced voice mode and have. I
love using that.
Yeah, I love using it, and just conversational AI, which is so useful for people.
So good. Okay, my friend just was dabbling, as we all are. With the agents thing, AI agent. And he got it to perform a task. I don't even with his video explaining what he just figured out, like I was like, I still don't get it.
Let me give you a really easy example. So this is with the ChatGPT agents and the connectors. So ChatGPT has the ability, if you go into setting and click on connectors, you can connect your Google Drive, your Gmail, your calendar, these different connectors with it. So I have a lot of ChatGPT connected to a lot of these things. So my dog Bruno, he is behind on some of his vet visits, like a vet visit. So I asked ChatGPT to search my email from the veterinary clinic and find what he was behind in and set an appointment with the vet clinic. That's it. So ChatGPT agents. So I turned on agents.
Is there like extra cost to this?
It's included in your pro plan, right? So in your plus plan, the $20 a month. So then as I'm doing that with ChatGPT, it goes and it went through my email and it found the information on what, Bruno needed to do.
Crazy.
Then it also found what the vet was, went to the vet's website and scheduled an appointment for Bruno. And I'm watching the whole thing. So Agents is doing the whole thing. And then it came back. The only thing it asked me for was my mobile phone number, because I guess it didn't have that, right? I gave it my phone number. It scheduled the appointment, and you can watch it filling in the form. So if you're thinking about filling in a form, it filled in the form. I'm watching it fill in the form. At any time, you can press a button to take over if you want to. But even in the questions section, it said, scheduling Bruno for an appointment. These are the shots that he needs from reading the email of what the vet sent me of the shots that he needed. So after it's done with the whole process, I go to my email. I see the email from the vet confirming the appointment. It's actually for this Monday at 9 a.m. But it's, because it has my calendar connected and my Gmail connected, it can schedule it for me. And then I had it also schedule. I'm like, I need some study time every week. I'm trying to, put in an hour every single day. So I asked ChatGPT agent to go to my calendar and give me an hour every day. That's all I gave it. So as it was scheduling the hours, it will come back and tell me like when it schedule things. So it's like, you have a podcast interview on this day at 11:30. So I'm scheduling the time an hour and a half before that, just to give you time to get to the podcast interview. So you're seeing like even the chain of thought of how it's thinking through things, where before it might have just been like, I'm doing it from 10 to 10:30 to 11:30. Well, that's not even possible because I have a podcast interview. So I was impressed by how it was doing that. It booked a plane ticket for me. It logged into my Delta account, which is on my computer. It logged into my Delta account, and then it knows my preferences in my Delta account. Booked a plane ticket. The only thing it asked me was which card I wanted to use. I confirmed the last 4 digits of the card. Boom, my plane ticket is booked. Dang. So some of these tasks, very task-based.
It's crazy because that's human. That's just like human life.
Right. It's just life.
I know we're talking like a little bit entrepreneurial and business and a productivity. It's like, no, like in life, this is going to be very helpful.
Right. Yeah. So I think making sure that as we also are using ChatGPT, that we have our settings on properly. So I always like to tell people, go to ChatGPT, click on settings, and then click on security. And you must turn on your multi-factor authentication. So we're having all these connectors connected to our ChatGPT account. We want to make sure that we're protecting it as much as possible. So that's like setting up two-factor authentication.
Yes.
So settings, security, multi-factor authentication. And then the second thing is settings and then data controls. So everybody's ChatGPT is defaulted to allow ChatGPT to get the information that you're sharing with ChatGPT to train their models.
Okay.
And it's not that everybody that types in there, it would happen, but the possibility of it is there. So what you want to do is turn it off.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
So you go to data privacy and now you turn off the ability for ChatGPT to share, to take your content and use it to train the model. So those are the two most important security settings. The only time you leave that on is when you want to talk about how great you are, how great your business is, and train the model so that it's learning about you, so that you become more AI findable. You know, it used to be Googleable, right?
Yeah.
But ChatGPT is my number 2 source of traffic right now to my website. Facebook is number 1 and ChatGPT is number 2.
Yeah, that's really good because a friend texted me and told me that I came up when he was looking for voices along the lines of things I teach. And he was like, hey, look, check it out. It looks like, but I think that's just from the volume of content that I put out. But that poses an opportunity that if you don't have a history of content,
correct,
but you have an expertise, this is a great time to get what I like to call digital real estate.
Absolutely.
And be a part of you showing up along the lines of a problem you solve.
Right.
Yeah.
And think about things that people would go to ChatGPT and ask, who are the top 10 content producers on YouTube? And then you could start to produce that type of content. So here are the top 10 content producers and you're number 1 or on that top 10 list. Because, when you think about what people search for in AI and the information they search for, and you can even ask ChatGPT about your industry. What are people searching for when they go to ChatGPT to find people in my industry? So I will show up and it will tell you, and it will give you a plan for how to show up better in AI so that it's recommending you.
I'm thinking about like a crazy lead magnet potentially, because if people win like crazy when they get me to be able to process their YouTube video packaging, whether that's people in my inner circle or my some close friends and clients, and then they get videos that win, but they I don't know, the next time they don't know what I did in my brain to dial in the title and thumbnail, and I have a process and I have a formula, but I don't know, I just feel like there's something there too. There's so much. That's so good.
You could definitely create a tool that you either make available to them or just for your team. So imagine cutting down the process for your team or for you. My favorite website to create these type of tools is called Lovable. So lovable.dev. And you could simply go to Lovable and tell it your process and to create a tool that's now a title generator, a thumbnail reviewer. And the thumbnail reviewer, you could set it where you could upload the thumbnail and it would analyze it and give you an output of that thumbnail. You could do that with ChatGPT as well. But creating a tool makes it so much easier for you or your audience just to go to that tool and to be able to use it. And this is a tool that you can create without knowing any coding at all.
Wow.
So it's just a complete no code tool. But what I love about it as well is that when you use AI tools, you can use them together to get the best output. So Lovable just has this, prompt. It says, here, type in your prompt right here, the prompt box. But sometimes you go to it and you're like, I have no idea what type of software I want to create and how it should work. But you go to ChatGPT and you tell ChatGPT, I would like to create a software that will help people to analyze their YouTube titles and their thumbnail. And I would like it to be off of my frameworks and this type of stuff. I want it to be a design document for lovable.dev. What information do you need from me and about my process to be able to create a design document for Lovable? And now ChatGPT steps into that mode. It knows what a design document means. And that is what a developer would give would use to design a software. So now ChatGPT will design your whole software instructions, pop that in Lovable. 5 minutes later, you could have a SaaS tool ready to launch to your public.
So good. So what was the release date? Was it was fall of 23?
Yeah, it was November of 2023 for ChatGPT.
So what were you doing right before that? And then what led you into like, I don't know, did you have a moment of like,
Sure.
okay, I'm going all in. I'm going to be the...
I did. So this is my 25th year as an entrepreneur. So I've been an entrepreneur for a while, but I've been doing digital marketing.
Okay.
And I was in the how to start an online business, how to drive traffic, course content, and creators. And so in 2017, I was invited to speak at an event called Walmart Tech Live. It was a Walmart event. And the speaker in front of me was 15 years old at the time, which got my attention. And he was talking about IBM Watson and how this AI tool beat the nation's Jeopardy champions in a game of Jeopardy back in 2011. And when he showed us this, and I saw this computer acting as a human, like answering the Jeopardy questions as if it was human, I was completely blown away. And I was like, what is this? But it was hard to use back then. Back in 2017, the user interface was not easy to use. So I gave up, but I started looking for other tools with the same technology inside, right? Because the AI is we're using these tools with AI inside of them. And so I started using Jasper, and I started using another tool called Writer in order to, write and create for me. But they were very clunky at the time. It's like, okay, we'll generate a headline for you. We'll generate, but you couldn't do all in one like you can do with ChatGPT. So one of my students in my program, Angie, she called me and she was like, this thing ChatGPT released yesterday, and it's better than what you've been showing us with Jasper and Writer, which got my attention.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So I checked it out and I saw the possibilities with it. And I started to learn how to train it to get what I wanted. Because back then it really was very robotic, very generic writing. But I locked myself up for 2 weeks, canceled all my appointments, just went all in on AI. I feel like
we all need to do that.
Yeah, we do at some point. Or work with somebody who did it that can then give you the shortcuts. But you still need to spend the time, right? You still need to spend the time. And then we made a pivot. So our business used to be called Monetized Marketing. We opened another business called AI Innovision, and we went all in on AI training and consulting.
So
and then
good.
In 2024, I started getting double and tripled booked to come teach AI.
Yep.
And so I started a consultant program and a certified consultant program. So I teach other people now how to go into corporations, universities, government agencies, and teach AI. And the thing is the per project rate and the hourly rate is obscenely amazing right now for people in the AI field. So if you're passionate about the AI field, I always tell entrepreneurs, if you're really passionate about AI and in the AI field, learn it and then teach it to others, and you will make fantastic money doing that. And that's what we do.
No, that's so beautiful. It's crazy how it like poses that opportunity. Because I feel like everyone was doing that, or everyone does that in every context per se. Like, I used to be used to work for a company called Think Media, and we would help people grow their YouTube channels. Right. And when you had a doctor grow a YouTube channel, what ended up happening is they became educators for other physicians and doctors and people who own practices to grow YouTube channels, and they were able to help people in that way. And that's even happening even with my group. There's some people that are really winning in their sector, and then they're helping other people win. But like with the AI thing, it's cool because it will not only pay you back in productivity, it'll pay you back in being a resource to an industry.
It really will. And the great thing now is that we're still in the early phases of it. I mean, I train and teach all the time. Every week I'm teaching in corporation.
Thank you for saying that, because it feels late.
It feels late.
I guess my
because you're in it.
Yeah.
Because you're in it.
I'm just
right. Because you're in it. But as somebody who's training and teaching, I have to start at the beginning. People haven't even opened up their ChatGPT settings. I'm training in rooms where people don't even have ChatGPT, and they're like, wait, how do I get ChatGPT?
Wow.
And I'm talking high levels in government and corporations, universities. So this is the great thing about it, is that we get brought in just to even teach the basics right now.
Yeah.
So if I think I'm going to go in and teach advanced AI strategies, there's no way. I have to start at the beginning, and then usually it's ongoing training with a business.
Wow.
So some companies have integrated AI in different ways, but they still need AI consultants to come in and show them the big picture, what's possible. Sometimes they're just kept in this box of the one tool that they're using, Copilot. They don't even know what else is out there.
Yeah.
So we teach them different use cases for it and how to integrate it. And it's
crazy.
It's a great time.
I was at a friend's conference about a month ago, and he had Cody Sanchez, and she hired an AI person full time. And it was like, your job is to simply find out how AI could be like. And it's almost like that's going to be, if not already, a position that you can have in a business or an organization, and it's chief executive AI person.
Right.
And it's just like, hey, you get to meet with people and hear their process or their problems or their frustrations or bottlenecks, and then give them a process to crush with that. As far as being that middleman, like a consultant, because I had a friend tell me, because I've been in the church space for a while.
Yes.
I've been in ministry for over 12 years, and it is good for churches to have small staff because we have big volunteer culture.
Yeah. And
so to allow for massive productivity, the small staff, admin and pastoral staff, to be able to do, I'm just thinking about all the things like the assimilation of a first-time guest all the way down through them getting on a team. A pastor having the ability to process something with somebody before like a coffee date is done or created, or I don't know. There's like so many things in the church space because even in church, it's repeatable. Everything happens every week. Sunday we got church, and then from that, this happens, and then from that, this happens, and this is what we want to happen.
Right.
And so, that's kind of something I feel in my heart.
Yes.
But I feel like I need to lock myself in a room for 2 weeks and then peace out.
I used to teach Sunday school before I moved here. So where I used to live, I used to teach Sunday school. And so to prepare for my lesson, I was using ChatGPT, and I was using ChatGPT to say, here's the lesson. Help me dig down on questions. What will help more conversations? And then help me with some of the imagery. So it'd print out images, then create the homework assignment with me. So here's what I'm thinking. And ChatGPT would help me go through a different process. So, I got such high ratings for my Sunday school lessons because I was able to have just a partner sitting with me and helping me think through some things, which is sometimes what we need, right? Yeah. We're sitting here and being like, okay, this is the lesson, but how can I get a little bit of help? Who can I have a conversation with? And I can just ask ChatGPT to have that conversation with me.
I think in that example, I think what's beautiful is that you were saying, you were asking questions based on how can I connect better?
Right.
Because I think one danger, I don't even want to call it a danger, but when I asked you, like, what are some like don't go there moments?
Right.
I think people think it can replace your ability to connect.
Right. True.
With just content. Like if somebody wasn't well versed in what they were getting in front of people to teach or whatever in any capacity, and just to be like, give me this.
Right.
I don't know.
Then it becomes obvious.
Yeah.
So if you're using ChatGPT to write a grant proposal and you're sending it in without having reviewed it or put any of your personalization in, it becomes obvious. They're like, this was written by ChatGPT. So, you have to make sure that you are not using it without that human element added into it. And
do you feel like pastors should disclose that parts of their sermons were
this is do I think that they should? It depends, right? It depends on the pastor and how open the congregation is to hearing something like that, because I let it be known when I was teaching Sunday school that I was using ChatGPT, and then I had a ChatGPT session. Everybody was like, can we learn ChatGPT and how you do that?
Yeah.
And so I think for pastors, it can help them again with their thought process, like, this is the message, and help me connect this message to the congregation. So it depends on the congregation, but it's a lot of times what I have found is that then everybody wants to know. In my church, I led the ChatGPT sessions and taught people how to use it.
Dang.
And my messages always in churches are, hey, if we educate the congregation on how to level up with AI, then what does that do to the church as a whole?
Right.
So everybody in the church needs to know that they cannot be left behind. They have to future-proof their career. They have to, as business owners, leverage AI. And so let's raise the income of the congregation and watch how the church changes.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
don't leave them behind.
As far as content creators, or even there's a lot of people who want to build their personal brand.
Sure.
And I think most personal brands, especially the people I help, it's more experts, experts who want to build their personal brand. But when you're close to your expertise, typically you don't make content that really connects. How would you encourage business owners who want to build their personal brand on how to use AI, let's just say, to create short form content?
Sure. So lots of different ways. And I would say it starts off with a conversation with whatever tool you're using, ChatGPT. So even that question. So how can I increase my personal brand and integrate AI tools to do it?
Then you just caught something. I'm always asking you for something, and you're always going a step back and saying, include ChatGPT in that step.
Yes. Because I think for a lot of people, they look at ChatGPT and they say, well, I don't even know where to start. Or if I think I know where to start, but how am I going to get the best results? And so if you can start to think about ChatGPT as your business strategist, as your marketing advisor, just as a team member, if you think about it as a team member, then you're starting to say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with today, or this is what I'm thinking about. I know I need to increase my brand overall. I know that I need to create more shorts, but I don't know what I need to do. Then that all starts with saying, they can pick up the phone and call you, but they can also go to ChatGPT and say, this is what I need to do. Help me and guide me. So one of my favorite prompts or strategies for entrepreneurs is to go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, I need you to act as my business strategist who has experience in helping startups go from $0 to $1 million in 1 year. Right? I'm going to tell you about myself and my business, and I need you to create a plan for me so that I can achieve this goal. What information do you need to know about me and my business? Answer those questions, and ChatGPT will come back and give you your yearly plan. And then you say, take that yearly plan and tell me what to do every month for the next 12 months, every week for the next 12 weeks. And then you say, today is day one. Tell me what I need to do on day one.
Wow.
And it says, today you need to pick up the phone and make 3 phone calls and tell 3 people about the offer that I just told you you're about to launch, and let them know it's launching and see their feedback. Come back and tell me. You go back and continue the conversation.
Wow.
And then it says, all right, now here's what you need to do with that. And then let's move on to day 2. And so you starting to go through that process. You use it as a business advisor, business strategist that would cost you $100,000 a year to hire.
Right.
So it's just about knowing that you can use this tool as your, business coach, as whatever you need, going to it and say, help me get through this. And it actually enjoys, you can see, well, I'm saying AI enjoys, but you can see in its reply back to you that it's a process where you're working with each other. You're working together to make the best results for you, which gets you to places that you never thought you could go before. People that say, oh, I couldn't afford a business strategist. Well, now you can with AI. Pay $20 a month for the pro account and the plus account. And now you can have an AI partner that's going to help you achieve your goals.
It's great. What were some stuff that you wanted to show?
Sure.
Art's going to hold your mic.
Okay.
And, you can hit screen record.
Okay.
And then we are going to show screen.
So the first thing that I want to show you is just how teams are going to be different in the future. So this is our marketing department, and this is the organizational structure of our marketing department. So this is my sister, Lorette, head of marketing.
Hey, Lorette.
And Ava, who's her marketing manager. And Gwen, who Ava's been with us for 9 years. Gwen has been with us for 16 years.
Wow.
But all these other team members here, they're all AI. So they're all AI team members.
So you have 3 people on your team
that are humans, in the marketing department.
Yes, in the marketing department.
And Angelina, she's a translator. She goes between the marketing department and the training department. So sometimes she's with me on trainings. But when we're looking at, our business coach, what we were talking about, product launch specialist, Jerry, who writes our press releases, Cody, who does our copywriting, like these are all different team members. Wow. Franny, who's our feedback coach. These are all different team members that our humans go to get things done. Wow. Right? And so they're trained on different content within our business and our knowledge base of our business. And this right here is a representation of what the future is going to look like for teams.
I know this is crazy, but would you say before you think about hiring that VA?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. You see if that task that VA is going to be doing could be used by AI, and then the human on your team is the one that just needs to know how to use that AI. Yeah. And I will say for the humans on our team that are using AI, it becomes a pleasant experience using the AI team member, because for the press release example, if we go back to that, the press release agent asks her 5 questions. She answers the questions and the press release is done. It's a lot quicker. There's no going back and forth. There's no emails to send.
There's no sick dates. There's no mental health days.
It's just boom, and done, right?
Yeah.
And so they just have to be trained now how to integrate the team. So what I do in our team is I actually give these team members a face, a name. They have job descriptions. They have, roles. They have resumes. Because when I first started integrating AI into our company and I said, we're going to be using chatbots, nobody was interested in using chatbots. But then when I say, oh, we've got a new team member, we can make it fun. We can make it integrative. And then we can say, oh, the PowerPoint's done. Make sure that you send that to Franny. Everybody's smiling. It's an AI team member. And so this is the integration. And so as Dan was talking about in the interview, as we're using AI, we need to make sure that all of our team members are using AI. And so the way that you integrate it into your team is something you have to think about how your team will respond to it. For me, this is the best way. But for everybody, they have to think, does my team want to use chatbots or do they want to integrate with AI team members? And how am I going to make that integration?
How's your staff Christmas party going to look?
I know, right? It's a lot cheaper than it was before.
No, that's what's crazy. It's like, it is so, you're thinking about, you're not dealing with emotion. You're not dealing with time and limitations with things like that. And as a business owner, it's awesome to hear those things. Yeah. And as a small business owner, it's awesome to hear those things.
Yeah.
And so that's really encouraging.
And then we can also lend these AI team members out to our clients in our community. So as an example, Franny, the feedback coach, for my consultants that I train, they have to do a presentation. So before I ever see that presentation, it goes to Franny, who reviews the presentation as AI, reviews it, gives them a grade, and they can keep improving it until she gives them an A+. And she's using, my frameworks and a process that I would do for reviewing. So what used to take me a lot of time in my business to review presentations from our consultants takes me no time anymore because they go to her. So now the people in my program all know Franny. They all talk about Franny. And if anyone else in the community is saying, I need someone to help me review this document, everybody will chime in and say, send it to Franny, send it to Franny.
Okay, so this happens when people do their first web class.
Right.
And I have things I'm looking for. A lot of it is just over teaching, a little too many tactics, things like that. And it would be beautiful to have something like that.
Yeah.
And really quickly, how can I just get that? How can I get what should we call him? I'm going to call him Franny, bro. Yeah.
So Franny is actually a GPT within ChatGPT. So I can actually show you. So you go to chatgpt.com and then you go to GPTs. So chatgpt.com/GPTs, and you click on create. So this create button right here.
Yep.
And then this is the instructions that you're going to give that GPT, which is now your AI team member, on how they're going to act. So what are they going to do for you? And this is where you would put in your frameworks and that sort of stuff. Yep. But I will tell you, before I put the instructions in here, I go to ChatGPT and I open up a conversation that says, I would like to create a feedback coach for my custom GPT in ChatGPT, and I would like for you to help me create the configure instructions. What do you need to know about me and my frameworks to create this feedback coach?
That's really good.
So ChatGPT will actually create all the instructions for you, so you don't have to think about how to put the instructions in here. Have a conversation with ChatGPT, copy and paste that over here, and you can set up your first AI team member this way.
Wow.
And so for me, if we go back to Franny, she has, just like how you were saying, I say when you do a presentation, it has to be engaging. You have to have a demonstration in it. So she's looking through the PowerPoint or a transcript saying, this wasn't very engaging. You never called on the audience for anything. There was no, so she'll grade them based on that.
Yeah.
And they'll make the fixes until she gives them an A+.
Yeah. How many examples should I actually do
Yeah.
that would be suffice for
maybe one or two examples. What's more important than the examples is the framework or what you like to do.
Okay.
So, and ChatGPT will create that for you. If a person doesn't know what that is, they're like, I like to always have this, and this. Turn it into a framework. ChatGPT will turn it into a framework for you.
Wow.
And then integrate that into the instructions. Because that's part of what you need in order to put it in the instructions is, how do you like it? What are you really looking for?
Great. Yeah. So cool. Is there anything else?
Yeah. So I'm just going to show you how I even prepared for this session with you here today. So I went to ChatGPT and I just put a screenshot of, your YouTube channel.
Without even the link.
Without even the link, just a screenshot.
Wow. Is this 5, by the way? Or
this is 5. Okay. Yes, we're on 5. So you can see from the ChatGPT-5. Yeah. And so it just says based on your style and topic, here's questions that you're most likely to ask me. And so then, it's how can AI help me grow my audience? Is AI going to replace us? So all of these different things that it predicted that you were going to ask me. So I always tell people, when you're preparing for something and you want to win, again, use AI as your partner in all of that because it helps you win.
So good.
Since we're talking about video production here, this one is for you. If you're not using it yet, or if people out there aren't using it yet, my favorite tool for especially YouTubers who want to take their YouTube content and turn it into shorts really quickly is Opus Pro.
Yep.
So I have one of my podcast interviews in here. You can just copy and paste the YouTube link. And then it turned one interview into 42 clips. Yep. And so I had a girl on my team who did this. It took her 4 days to do something like this. 1 hour, 42 clips. I mean, we're talking about captions on the clips and, captions on the clips and all this kind of stuff. And this took 4 to 7 minutes for it to produce 42 short form clips that I can now put on social. And some of these clips that I have put on are, generating tons of views. I have one that's at 300,000 views from last week, so from Opus, just taking a clip. So this is how we can multiply our brand and ourselves, because somebody who would say, all right, I did that YouTube video, but I mean, I don't have the resources to now go out and hire somebody to make all these clips. Then you can use AI tools to do that.
Good. Yeah. I mean, I think, we've been paying a virtual assistant, somebody who lives in the Philippines, and I don't know if he's even using this.
Right.
And then on top of that, I do care about the potency of what the clip is and how it's structured. Yeah. Is there anything you can do in Opus that can influence your preferences?
Yes. So in the beginning, when you're putting into Opus the YouTube link or whatever you want, you can tell it your preferences and what you want, and even set the caption style and what you're actually looking for and the length and all of those sort of things you do in the beginning. And then even here, Opus will tell you how likely this video is to go viral. So you can start to see, all right, the videos that are in the 80 percentile, maybe we won't use those. Okay. Those probably aren't the best.
I know. I mean, the Opus clips has advanced a ton since it first came out.
A ton.
Because before it was like, it gives you 10 and maybe 1 is like usable.
Right.
But the fact that they can give you 43. Yeah. And it's like, it's a starting point.
It's a starting point.
Yeah. So
it's a starting point. And then for a lot of content creators that, maybe don't have that big of a budget to hire a team, it is definitely a starting point. Yep. And then Opus now has, edit features. You can edit the clip inside, which they didn't have before. Yep. Right. You can now put a YouTube link in, and you don't even have to give it the video anymore. Just give it the YouTube link and it will go and clip the video for you.
So good. Yeah. We recently, I had a sales, or I did like a challenge, and then there was like the moment where we sit and I'm just like handling people's questions and stuff. And then we uploaded the transcription, and I had ChatGPT just tell me like, what are they really asking? Like what's really at the core of this question.
Right.
But yeah, it's just really cool. If people are doing discovery calls or onboarding calls or things like that, you can get so much insight, because sometimes, especially people who are newer at sales, they aren't usually they're not listening to understand, they're listening to sell.
Right.
And it's almost like ChatGPT with a transcription could help you understand what a person's really trying to say.
Absolutely. Something I love to do with the transcriptions as well. So a transcript from a YouTube episode, you can upload it to Claude, or even ChatGPT now is better at it with version 5, and tell it to create a complete ebook from that transcript. So it just will go in one go and create 100-page ebook for you based on the transcript and then get creative with the prompt. So like my prompt says, take the transcript and turn it into a high value ebook, and make sure that there's action items, there's key takeaways, there's summaries, put writing prompts at the end of every section. So now people are not just reading as an ebook, but at the end of every section, it's giving you things to do and to walk away. So it's creating more of an interactive experience with your ebook, just based on the transcript of your YouTube video or the podcast episode that you do.
So something I've been wanting to do is I don't even want to say write a book. 'Cause
Right.
I don't want to write the book.
Right.
Because I have so much content out there, and like these conversations, I like to see them as they're all masterclass conversations.
Right.
They're like, I call them course conversations.
Yes.
And there have been pillar pieces of content we've put out in the last 2 years that would fall under a cohesive book. And, you know, I had a consultation call with somebody that I was going to potentially work with. And they were, I brought that objection. Hey, I just talked to Dan Martell. He actually spent 3 hours to put together like a prompt for a person, like a thought leader, to write you a book and use your isms and stuff. But her disposition was kind of just, well, is it gonna make somebody feel something? You know, like that's where she went. For me, this is just a business thing. I want people to have a physical product from me that is super valuable. So you're saying, Omar, grab those episodes.
Yes.
Get the transcription, put it in there, actionable items, each chapter, tell it to put it together. And then ask of you maybe things that would connect the stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then if you tell it, like, make sure that you're writing this ebook in the style and tone of Omar, it will pick up that style and tone. And then now you'll be like, this is exactly what I would say, because it's learned that from all of the transcripts. Even if it was me doing it and my ChatGPT account is not trained on you, all I have to tell it is do it in your style and tone, and it's going to pick up on that and write it as if it was you. You could take 10 of your, latest episodes and ask it to create a book that has each chapter is a different interview, and each one has key takeaways at the end of it. Give it all the transcripts and boom.
Because I interview the experts. And sometimes I'll do a podcast where I'm the expert.
Right.
And I just figured, like, there's a book by like Tim Ferriss called like Tool of the Titans.
Right.
And it's a collection of things. So that's super
There's
helpful.
A few of those collections, and you could even tell it, pull out the main key takeaways so that it's 30 pages each person instead of 100 or whatever you want it to do.
Right.
And it will say, okay, these were the key points that he made or she made, and then pull that out that way.
Incredible.
So now us content creators can create content that has so much value for our audience. Imagine how many people would love to read a book by you that was like, here are my last 10 interviews, and it's conversations with creators or whatever you call it, and they can listen to that. And then you can go to 11labs.io. Let me show you this next site and what you can do with this.
Dang, your tech stack is crazy right now.
It is, and I love it. I love it. It's called leverage.
Yeah.
So it's
100.
really getting more done with less, working smarter.
Ninth wonder of the world.
Right. So if you come here to 11 Labs and you click on voices, you can click on create or clone a voice, and then you click on instant voice clone, and then you can upload files of your voice here and clone your own voice. So why would you want to do that? Let me show you. So now you can come back here and click on, go back to the home screen and click on audiobooks. And now you can upload your book here. And now it's Omar reading that 200-page book that ChatGPT wrote for you about the biggest takeaways from your last 10 interviews. Wow. And so now with 11 Labs, sites like Audible and Spotify said if it's created with 11 Labs, you can upload it to our platforms. So now your message is getting out, people are enjoying it, and they could read the book or listen to it. And you didn't have to sit down, because you know how much time that takes, sitting down? Getting in a studio. A lot of people just wouldn't even do it. Right. No,
and they pay somebody else. And then, as a consumer, I do love audiobooks, but when it's not the person, it kind of is like, meh.
Right. Yeah. And then you can be transparent, let everybody know it's your AI that's actually reading this audiobook. So it could start off being like, this is AI Omar, and here we go with this book. Yeah.
So good.
I believe in transparency whenever possible.
I love it. Yeah. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Cool, right?
Is that,
11 Labs.
I know you did 2 sessions at Podcast Summit.
I did, yes.
From those 2 talks you gave, what did you share? I would imagine that there was a moment where people started pulling out their phones, or like you got the gasp. Like, what was that like? I don't know. Did you drop like something, the gem that was like the room just was like, oh my gosh?
I would say, because I do a lot of demonstrations, that with each demonstration, there was something for somebody in the room.
Yeah.
So when they were able to see, oh, that's how you can do your style and tone. Now I can write my books. Now I can write anything, my podcast scripts,
Yep.
with AI and my style and tone. Or I even went and showed the advanced voices feature in ChatGPT that a lot of people had never used. And I'm going to go to show you. And so just using this advanced voices feature and voice mode, I was like, hey, if you want to do a podcast interview, but you want to be interviewed yourself for practice, you're
Wow.
getting your practice,
So
but there's
good.
nobody around to practice with you. You could use ChatGPT to do it for you. So I showed them the advanced voice feature
Oh my
and
gosh.
how it interacted with me. And I mean, you could record that and
Yeah.
put that on social
No, I
media.
literally, okay. So I have this philosophy.
Yeah.
And it's you don't have to make content.
Right.
You can be the content.
You can, right? You're
So
right. I love that.
you can literally be interviewed. Like maybe you don't have anybody to have a conversation with, but you can be interviewed by chat.
Right.
Have a camera over here filming you while you're looking at the interviewer, and then you have content.
You have content. I'll show you real quick. So we'll use this right here.
That's sick.
Hey, it's Alicia, and I would like for you to interview me just on artificial intelligence and how entrepreneurs should be all in on AI. All right, I'm ready for the first interview question.
Hey, Alicia. Absolutely. Let's dive right in and have a little friendly chat. Imagine we're just hanging out and talking shop. So first up, why don't you tell everyone listening why you think entrepreneurs should be all in on AI right now? But hold up. I'm going to ask you to walk us through it like you're guiding a friend step by step, because we love those clear and enthusiastic explanations. Let's think about it. What's the big picture here?
Yeah. So the big picture for entrepreneurs is leverage. So as they look at which tools that they can use and how they can leverage it to their benefit, they will grow, expand, and multiply. But they have to really think about it as a tool. And in jumping into that, always think about the word leverage. How am I going to leverage artificial intelligence to win?
Absolutely. I love that angle. So, hey, everyone listening, you heard it straight from Alicia. It's all about leverage.
That's
But hold
fire.
up. That means you're not just playing around with AI for fun. You're really
Stop.
thinking,
This is my
how am I
job.
going to leverage
Stop.
this skill to
That's the part I'm supposed to. No, that is so good. Just because, man, it opens up opportunity.
It does.
Because
it does.
there are some people that don't live in metropolitan cities like
Right.
Atlanta, or I'm
Yeah.
from Las Vegas, and it's not easy to connect. And like, yes, you can do virtual interviews, but man, you can get so much. Like, use AI to practice. What are
Use
we
AI
talking
to
about?
practice,
Yeah.
know, and imagine you're going for a job interview.
Oh
so
my
you can
goodness.
have AI step into the role of the person who's going to be interviewing you, feed it as much information as you know
That's
about
so
that
cool.
person. And then do mock interviews
Yep.
and then ask ChatGPT, all right, after the mock interview is over, I want you to grade me on how I did and give me feedback. Because the
Wow.
feedback is the most important thing.
Yep.
So, I've used this as a live translator. So it's on your phone. You can click the advanced voice feature and we could have a whole conversation in a different language and it would translate from, English to Spanish back to English. Just do live translation. It understands what live translation is.
Wow.
So it can just do so much for us as humans
Right.
now, just using it again as a tool, which is really cool.
You are a certified genius.
Thank
Like,
you.
you're brilliant.
Thank you.
And you're so well spoken. And do you have more to show me?
I mean, we could go on forever with
I know,
this.
and that's what I literally feel. But let's just call it a part 2.
Okay,
let's just
do
call
that.
it. I'd love for you to come to Las Vegas.
Sure.
And I actually have a space. It's 3,000 square foot facility, and we could do a mini event
Let's do it.
for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And I mean, we can go crazy.
I love it.
You
I
know,
love
so
it.
thank you for your time, and shout out to 4 or 5 Coffee Roasters. Me and Art have been here since Monday,
Wow.
and it was just to leave room to be able to get some conversations.
I love it.
And we came to this coffee shop every single day.
Wow.
And so really cool that they let us shoot. But
I also want to shout out Nehemiah Davis for connecting
oh, bro,
us. And
Neo,
for,
love you, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people connect with you? Where can
Yeah.
people find you?
Yeah,
We'll put
sure.
links in the description. But
Okay, sure. So on Instagram, I'm very active and I like to train and teach. So that's alicialyttle.com on Instagram. And to find my latest events, it's just alicialyttle.ai. Of course, I have a .ai. So .ai, and you'll see my marketing summit in there and different things that you can
Sweet.
do to connect with me because I do a lot of free training. I really believe in the time that we're in right now, no one should be left behind. And as an entrepreneur myself, I'm passionate about what I've been able to do and how I've been able to grow my business. And so I'm really passionate about helping others. And it's fun. We can make it fun.
Yeah.
You know, so I love it.
Yeah, so good. And so we'll put links to everything down there. So when did you officially position or start as a consultant and coach in AI?
I started off in 2023 as a consultant in AI. And so do you want me to take this now? I can take it now.
Yeah, you can take it.
Yeah, sure.
No, and because I think there's some good just insight, because it's at the time of filming this, to date this conversation, it's 2025.
Right.
Offer, like, I just want to know, like, how have you discovered certain offers? And I know there's so much demand. I can imagine speaking and low ticket and high ticket, but how have you journeyed through to really make this?
Sure. It started in 2023 for me. So I was speaking on digital marketing and traffic back then. And so I had a few events, Onyx and Gall, Lamar Tyler, that I was scheduled in January of 2023 to speak at their events. And I was like, I'm not speaking on entrepreneurship and traffic anymore. I'm speaking on AI. And so they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. So I started talking on AI and just showing people. We were talking about AI agents back then, right, in 2023. And so I saw the uptake of how interested people were.
Wow.
And this is when we really started to make the pivot. And I was passionate about it. And I love teaching with demonstrations.
Good.
So I started to say, you know what? I love our marketing company that we had. And we were doing digital marketing for local businesses and teaching other consultants how to do marketing for local business. That was all great and fun. But this AI thing, I knew that it was going to be such a game changer for everyone in every industry that we pivoted in early 2023. I saw the audience's feedback. I started to then get booked for corporate, like I'd never done corporate gigs or government gigs teaching digital marketing. But when it's AI, it's like everybody needs it.
So good.
And so yes, now in 2025, the uptake is way different than 2023. Right now, it's, even though we're still in early stages, right now, it's way more in demand, way more. I mean, the demand for AI knowledge people, AI consultants, far exceeds the supply,
Yep.
So to be an AI consultant right now, it's a great time to do that. And it will be like this for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I honor you and I appreciate you. Excited for all the stuff we're going to do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I've got so much more to show.
Yeah, excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.